Well, welcome to this month's episode of Scalefusion Partner Podcast, Insights from the Ecosystem. My name's Steve Gohl. I'm Director of Strategic Partnerships for Scalefusion. And with me today, I've got Mark Savage from Converge IoT, the founder and CEO of Converge. Mark, thanks for joining.
Hey, good morning, Steven. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we got talking. We were both at a conference a couple weeks ago, and I've got the Converge mug to show for it. So it's getting blurred out, but yeah, it was great to spend some time with
Well,
you at the ETMA conference a couple weeks ago in Chicago, and we got talking. Obviously, you guys have been a great for Scalefusion for a long time. A little bit more about what you guys do and share with the audience. So. Um, Wanted to just kind of kick it off with an open question, like background on you, background on Converge, who's Converge IoT, who's Mark Savage.
all right. Well, hey, again, thanks for having me, and happy to talk a little bit about Converge and we really, I think our partnership with Scalefusion is a partnership that has really grown tremendously in the last few years, and attribute to you and your team there. So, just to give you a little bit of background of Converge, who we are, where we fit into the marketplace. So, we're a little bit unique in that we basically have kind of a dual role, if you will. So we participate in, right off the bat, we participate with carriers like T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T, and their partner programs. Supporting direct customers, working hand in hand with their direct sellers. And what's unique about Converge is when we are in a T-Mobile environment, we are basically what's considered a primary agent. So as T-Mobile brings more and more partners into their ecosystem to support various solutions or verticals, products, software, hardware, you name it, they look for a partner like Converge to kind of go out, recruit those partners, and bring them into the ecosystem, fill different product gaps that outside of their on-paper solutions. And so that really is how we got started in the business. Was I'd kind of I worked as a partner. I worked with an OEM and distribution. So I've kind of been in a lot of those ecosystems for a long time. And, as T-Mobile was growing their program, they'd approached me to basically kind of build out this model to help grow the partner program. So really like that because it gives us a chance to really work with partners and fill all kinds of specific solution verticals, and not try and have one partner try and do everything, so to speak. And so I've always found that works really well when you can just find individual companies that they're experts in their particular solution or slice of the market, if you will. And then I can really work at that. And then that way as I'm getting approached from anyone, a direct customer, a carrier, or another partner, or something like that, I can always kind of refer different partners back and forth. So, and then it's interesting as we go outside of, say, a T-Mobile environment and work in, Verizon or an AT&T or with a direct customer, we also then serve as a direct value-added reseller. And so we actually then sell the solutions directly to the end customers, support them, and things like that. So it's kind of a nice model for us, kind of sitting this like kind of a hybrid role, if you will, because by working with so many partners, we really get to kind of have a diverse group of solutions. And then it also allows me to not try and overextend and just try and be good at everything, but not expert. And so it allows us to kind of have expertise in a few areas that are in our core competency. We've been here in our Florida headquarters for about 2-3 years. As a company, we've been out here for almost 6. And so, that's what, I would just say kind of in conclusion about us. We pretty much are living day to day supporting customers and working with them. And that's what I love to do. And I like working with partners like yourself. So that's kind of the overall about Converge, if you will.
Yeah, that's great. So it's not, I mean, you kind of wear a couple different hats there on who your customer is. It sounds like sometimes it's a partner and you're adding value to the partner community and helping enable their solutions. And then you've got the direct customer side as well. And I think that's really what's unique about what you guys do is the capability of doing both, or that hybrid role, but also being able to tie in hardware, software, services, all the things that go together to, create a solution is a big deal. And being able to source all of that or kind of tie it all together.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I mean, when it comes to then, our direct kind of, MDM, I mean, from our inception, we'll probably jokingly talk about, our great buddy Peter Sperling, our CIO, is who's our kind of our MDM expert, but Peter's with the company day one, and so and basically, Peter has been in software and MDM for, gosh, the better part of his entire career here. So, you know that so since the day we started, MDM has been one of our core competencies, and so yeah, that's what I like about kind of having the little hybrid model is it's allowed us to really kind of continue to grow and expand our MDM portfolio. And I know we'll chat about some different topics today, but I think even yourself being at Scalefusion now there a few years, the amount of customers that utilize MDM is just more than ever. It's not just the big customers or the largest customers.
Yeah.
There's so many things going on in the market that require customers to have control and visibility and things like that into their devices, that MDM has been a great kind of business for us, and Scalefusion has just been one of become our leading partner that we work with.
Yeah, that's awesome. What would you say? What are you guys hearing from your customers on whether that's MD directly related or not? Like, what are their pain points that you're hearing in the market from customers? What are you guys solving for most commonly?
Well, I mean, if you think about even just, hey, a lot of seems like there's a lot going on the last few years, and even just going and just taking something like COVID that all of a sudden forced retailers to deploy more unattended retail kiosk type solutions, more remote workers or hybrid workers. That I think that's just one kind of thing in the last few years that I've seen, drive more demand for a company to be able to have some control over devices. So, if you have a kiosk and you're putting a Windows PC or a tablet or something in that, you don't want it to just be an open tablet, right?
Yeah.
It's built to perform a specific job function. And so, we've had customers calling us because, that maybe that wasn't something that they had to really worry about before, and how to kind of do that and get that set up. And then even when you have employees now working remote, they've got laptops, they've got handsets, they've got tablets, right? And there might just be call center folks who have one profile. Maybe there's the managers who have their own profile. Then you've got maybe executives who are in the office but travel. And so I think that the one kind of, I guess, this is a trend, is that it's not just for large corporations and just simply knowing where your devices are. I think it's really getting to purpose built, and what is that team or that particular solution? What's that function, that job function, the equipment that they're using, the cellular devices that they're using? Making sure that the apps and the profile and how it's configured match that exact job setting. And I think that's where we've started to use Scalefusion even more and more. Just the fact that it can be used across Android, iOS, Windows, and then also we can then also segment it. So if we have different profiles for that company, they have 100 kiosks in the field, and they've got, now when we go out and we work with them and support them, it's not just one profile that's going out to everyone. I mean, we all understand, hey, there's that work profile kind of setting, but now it is unique. And then, what, we also see is just, there's also then a whole combination of BYOD, where customers bring their own devices, and then they're also sourcing, getting devices through different carriers. So with devices coming and going in different ways, and in different turnover, the need for a mobile device management solution is just now kind of hitting customers of all sizes. And so and I will just say that's one of the things that we've really liked, and I think why we've used even more Scalefusion is as companies have grown, and let's face it, everything more and more things are going to cellular than ever. More job functions are now utilizing a cellular device, so it's increased the demand for using cellular in the company's day-to-day business, and then as a result, I think it's increased the need for being able to manage them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think obviously we're in this world all the time, so we talk a lot about all the amazing things you can do with our product and different things like that. And we've also seen that trend across the board on the kiosk lockdown mode. So it's not not only just managing your corporate fleet of devices, but actually making that device a very purpose-built, business use case and limiting everything else. One of the things I often joke about, or just remember that sometimes the most common thing that we have customers want to do, and as you were talking about like different sizes of customers, this can be SMB, it could be large or whatever, they just want to be able to get that device back, reset the password, and not have a brick device when an employee leaves. So sometimes the most easy thing to solve is the sole reason why somebody wants an MDM. Honestly, sometimes.
And
And
I mean, we both have heard, Peter, our buddy Peter tells that all the time, and I think that's something we used to see. Employee has their own username and password,
yeah,
leave suddenly, and you can't even get into the device to continue operations. Where if they have it in the MDM, companies don't even worry, right? They own that the ability to just reset that device
yep.
or get in. So you're right. That is just at a very core simplistic piece that is highly important because the cost of not having it is really expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, man, it's you said a bunch of great things about Scale Fusion, but one of my questions to you was, or that I had written down, is there's a lot of MDMs out there, right? So we know there's a lot of competition. We do a lot of things really well, and there's a lot of our competitors can do the same type of things as us, as far as some of the features functionality. But what's been your experience, or you guys had options. Why Scale Fusion? Why did you add us into your portfolio? And how has that experience been for you?
So it's been really good. And I will tell you, I mean that while this sounds general, I'll tell you a little bit about the application. It's the ease of use and the ease of working with Scale Fusion and your team. All kinds of support resources, documentation. I'll tell you, for us, the ability to kind of own a kind of a master profile, like platform, if you will, and be able to, from a
Mhm.
sub-tenant base, to be able to manage everyone in a single instead of swivel chairing, right?
Yeah.
As I might have to, that is a tremendous value. So when we talk to a client, I mean, let's face it. I mean, we've got an Apple and Android, world out there, especially in a handset device. The folks who use the iPhone, like they don't want to switch, and the folks that use Android, they don't want to switch. And so, and maybe in previous deployments, you might have to have two different MDM supporting a customer. And so, having it all under one is important. And I'll tell you what's important, why that really then it becomes a value is, so for us, what we find is, okay, when we meet with customers at all different kind of stages, right? So, we have some customers that have used MDM for years, and maybe they're looking to make a switch. So they're kind of familiar with MDM, maybe they're familiar with profile, what apps they use, and how to set them up. Maybe we get a customer who's never used an MDM before at all, and they know they want to do something, but they don't know exactly what they would want to do. And so our approach is really, hey, we really want to just talk to the customer, have initial, hey, some of that pre-sales, if you will, to just understand, just talk with them a little bit, the size of their business, what they're looking to do, what their goals are with an MDM, what apps they want to utilize. And then our kind of process is, hey, as quickly as we can, understand, okay, what apps are you using? And then
Sure.
what I find is that if we can get off even a pre-call, one, or even if it's a pre-call or two, and we can very quickly build them a sample profile and put their logo on it. Everyone loves to see the logos. We all
Yeah.
love our logos, right? We're, like everyone else. And so if we can get right back to a customer and deliver them ship them out a device now and now all of a sudden they look at their device and it has exactly like they got their logo on it, and now it has all the apps and it's kind of a work, purpose for them. That what I find is that kind of gets people over the hump, like the starting
Yeah.
block. Right? So sometimes, you don't want to get stuck at, hey, how do I get started? And so I think that we found that right there is extremely important, because now once the customer has a device, they're always going to have that warm and great feeling because they see their logo and they see it now is not just an open device, but something very specific. And now they can play around with that for a little bit, and they might find what they thought, maybe they wanted to have it very restricted. Maybe they're realizing, okay, that's probably not going to be practical for our folks in the field, right?
Right.
Okay. And then they can tweak and make some adjustments. So the quicker we can kind of get them a profile, and it's very easy from our side. We've done it, obviously very, very often, um, to build that profile with Scalefusion, get that set up, and get that in their hands. And then once we kind of have that, once we kind of got into that phase, um, we know we can kind of make adjustments from there. And then I think the other thing that we find is just as we kind of as more just by doing that practice, we're very engaged with the customer. And then what
Hmm.
you'll find is, as you talk to the customers, you kind of hear, from their perspective what they're looking for. Like I said, some companies that are used to managing it, they have a team, right? They have an IT or, a team that manages their end users and support and very familiar. But then we also get some customers that maybe they don't have a dedicated team, and they might be looking for us to now just not only help build the profile, deploy it. Some will go the users for the full site, like, hey, can I just ship you all the devices and could you set all this up and then send it to our end users? And yeah, we can do that. Or we can kind of aid them if it's something they do. So then I think bundling in then some help desk services um at kind of with some different levels based on what they want. So if they have a company has a dedicated IT admin, they might just want to have some, a help desk support just at admin level. Hey, we think
Sure.
we
Yeah.
understand it, but we're going to have, I'm going to keep coming back to you with some questions here and there, and we can give them a little support package for something like that, to where we've had some customers say, we don't know it, we don't have a dedicated team, and we'll actually provide the whole end user support. And that's where, when we just pivoting back to, like I said, Scalefusion, that single pane of glass and not swivel chairing, we find that allows us, number one, to give a good customer experience, because it's just easier. It's just easier to get
Yeah.
in and see everything. And then, like I said, I mean, Scalefusion, support is fantastic. And so then that helps us, because we know we can turn to Scalefusion and we get really good support and provide that to the customers. So, as I always like to say, anyone can sell a license, right? You can sign up and just, here's a license, and and go have at it. But the more we see in these MDM solutions, we really get involved with the customers. And hey, sometimes once they have it, then they've got it, and maybe they kind of, maybe they don't need us,
Yeah.
after a while. Some just decide, hey, can you guys just continue managing this ongoing for me? It's going to cost me more to go kind of build it myself. So I think that what's been a really nice kind of fit between Scalefusion and Converge IoT is it working with you all really fits into how we like to approach a customer opportunity, and kind of uncovering what they need, and then being able to kind of manage it and have your support supporting us. It's made it a really nice partnership.
Yeah, it's great, and the flexibility, I think, and the agility. Those are really values that align from us to what you guys do as well. And you guys have a lot of options. If, like you said, if a customer wants to kind of do things on their own, or they need more help, you can do more white glove services on top of it. It sounds like a really good fit in that aspect. Um, so as we're kind of getting towards the end of our time, Mark, we're gonna wrap things up here pretty soon. I just wanted to give you one last opportunity. Anything else you wanted to share, maybe that we didn't touch on, or you wanted to just recap?
Yeah, well,
Any final thoughts?
sure. Yeah. Well, obviously, again, thanks for having us. And I'd say one thing that just I would add is the fact that we work so closely with the carriers. The one thing that I might not touch on is that when customers come in at different stages of their MDM experience, if you
Journeys,
will,
yeah.
we also often get questions about obviously connectivity and rate plans and some things like that. So hey, just like hey, you give me a nice plug on Converge. Yeah, I'd like to really obviously plug our number one our largest partner in T-Mobile, and because what it allows us to do that kind of co-sell relationship, if you will, we call it partner teaming in T-Mobile, is from our side, we can really focus on doing what we do well, right, with the MDM and
Yeah.
supporting the Scalefusion. And then when customers have questions about hey, what rate plans for my tablets or my phones or PCs or what have you, it's very nice to then be able to then hey reach out to T-Mobile and bring in one of their sales experts that can kind of help the customer with the rate plans again, so that we're not trying to do everything
Yeah.
and having any diminishing returns in our service level. So, I think that would be something that I would add in there. And then really just lastly is hey, if customers or anyone wants to reach out to work with us, whether they want to join a carrier partner program, or they just want to talk about MDM, or they want to maybe they have an MDM and they're just exploring other options, or they're hey, I know I need it, but I don't know where to start. Our website is convergeiot.com, and the easiest kind of way just to reach out is just sales@convergeiot.com. That comes to myself as well as our executive team, and we get the customer to the right folks to help support them. So that it's really as easy as that. If they want to contact, again, I'm Mark Savage. I'm on LinkedIn. If people just want to connect that way, however that works. So yeah, I agree with that. How to contact us, and then again to you and Amit and the whole team at Scalefusion. Again, we appreciate the partnership, and we look forward to continued success.
Yeah, thank you, Mark. So there you have it. Contact at the website, convergeiot.com or LinkedIn, or we'll have some show notes probably as well. We'll have in the description, we'll have those things so that people can connect and we can link right over, get in touch with Mark and team. They do an incredible job. And we look forward to talking again soon. So thank
Great.
you.
Thanks for having me. Take care, Steven. Talk to you soon.